live session, and today we are going to be talking about the delegation of the European Union, and what they call a high level delegation of the European Union that has been sent to Burkina Faso, which is the confederal head of the Alliance of Sahel. According to information that has been given to us, this European Union delegation is being led by Mr. João Cravinho. According to the information that they gave, he met with the economic and finance minister in Burkina Faso, Dr. Abubakar Nakando. So based on the reports, they said AES and the European Union delegation meets towards strengthening cooperation through a new approach. So according to the information, the Minister of Economic and Finance, Dr. Abubakar Nakando, received a delegation from the European Union led by Joe Cravinho, the institution's special representative for the Sahel, on Tuesday, February 11, 2026. This meeting provided a framework for a direct and frank exchange between the two parties in a context marked by firm determination of the countries of the AES to preserve their sovereignty. Even if I think the European Union don't understand that word we call sovereignty. We understand sovereignty. They don't understand sovereignty, because if they understand sovereignty, they won't make the concession they made to the United States when it comes to investment and energy. They won't make such concession. So we understand sovereignty and we are doubling down on it. Now, facing his European interlocutor, that is Mr. Nakando, Dr. Abubakar Nakando, according to the information, they said Minister Nakando recalled the government's guiding principles in terms of international cooperation. That was the first thing he reiterated. Okay, that sovereignty is non-negotiable. Okay, mutual respect is part of the deal. Strict alignment of interventions with national priorities. So if you are going to be involved in any capacity with the Alliance of Sahel States, you have to have mutual respect, strict alignment of interventions with national priorities. So whatever you want to do, you are not going to in any way interfere with what is going on at the management level in the country. And they are saying sovereignty is non-negotiable, with the aim of concretely improving the living conditions of the population. So whatever you are coming as whoever you are, okay, whatever you are coming to the Alliance of Sahel States to do must be towards improving the living condition of the population. You can't just come here and say you want to come and create one organization, maybe awareness organization, human rights organization. Don't bring anything here. The only thing you can bring to this place is what will improve the living condition of the population. Okay, that means you are going to come back in, some heavy capacity to kind of probably employ, probably create jobs. So it's not going to be a sort of situation where you just come and according to the information that they gave, furthermore, they said there will be no interference in the educational system. On the part of the European delegation, the message is focused on the future. The European Union institution has adopted a new approach to its cooperation with the AES states, validated in November 2025 in Brussels. This strategy relies on qualitative dialogue, enhanced listening, and increased alignment with priorities defined by the Sahelian countries themselves. So, according to what they are saying now, they said it will be a qualitative dialogue. Now, we don't know what the details of this dialogue is going to entail, But the Alliance of Sahel is telling them now, see, you come into this place, we are giving you rules. This is a rules-based order by, based on the principles of the Alliance of Sahel State. You come here, you obey our rules, or you walk through the door, you came in through. Okay? So I love this strategy, and one of the biggest pointer right here that a lot of people are not really paying attention to is the Alliance of Sahel States saying there will be no interference with the educational system. Okay? You cannot come and teach us some, whatever you want to teach, improve your citizens with it. We see that in the Alliance of Sahel State now, there are indigenous computer engineers that are already doing, and computer scientists that are already creating applications, writing several programs to improve the life of the citizen. So what I have discovered about the Alliance of Sahel States now, okay? So what I think about the Alliance of Sahel States now is that whatever anyone wants to do in the Alliance of Sahel States, you have to come, and whatever you want to do will need to have instantaneous impact on the life of the civilian, or a long-term impact, whichever way it's going to go. There must be a traceable pathway that everybody can see that, okay, whatever you are proposing, this is going to be the long-term effect. It's going to be beneficial for the citizen. It's going to be a win-win partnership. That is what they are doing now. The days of the European Union sitting to deliberate over the issue of the Sahel is gone, like what they are doing to Uganda currently. Ladies and gentlemen, I won't lie to you. The way they are talking about Uganda, they are talking about, you see, what I have discovered is that a lot of African countries don't have sovereignty. And you see, the African Union summit today was a pitiable condition. I won't lie to you. You see, whatever all the African delegation, foreign ministers, whatever they went to that African Union summit in Addis Ababa to say, is a waste of time. You know, what I have come to realize is that the things they've said in the past, they are coming to say it again. The monetary system is not favorable. The IMF is not favorable. So if you are saying that the IMF borrowing system is not favorable, are you looking to continue to borrow? Are you planning that the next 20 years your plan is to continue to borrow? You see, when I look at the whole thing that the African states are saying, you know, I saw the Kenyan minister, Mudavadi, the one that said that Ibrahim Traore cannot be trusted. That how can you trust a man that no matter what he is doing, that how can you trust a man with a gun in his pocket? I felt like a lot of people forgot who Mudavadi was. He's that same corrupt Kenyan parliamentary member, you know, and all of them will go and gather themselves at that summit again. They will talk, and you know there will be financial provisions for maybe item 7, what they will eat and all of that, and you know, the countries of this particular representative would have probably, you know, they would have produced or provided some sort of revenue, you know, so that their people cannot, so that their people will be able to go to Addis Ababa. That is the only reason, that is the only thing of sense I can tell you that these people gained from this summit that they went to. That money that they put in their pockets, that please go and represent our country, that is it. Whatever they said there, they are not going to implement any. I will wait and see that country that will implement immediately. The only country that I see now that is doing great things right now that is not part of the AES is Tanzania. Tanzania is, I don't know what happened to Tanzania suddenly. I don't know what they are trying to do. Tanzania is collaborating with Russia like crazy. And one thing I have discovered recently, it's everything the Tanzanian people, the Tanzanian government are doing right now. I think they are doing something different. I think this Tanzanian system now is somehow very, very different. And to be honest, the news I'm seeing about Tanzania when it comes to investment, when it comes to economic reform, when it comes to development, I give them a lot of credit. I give Tanzanian government a lot of credit. I am shocked. Is it the level of confidence they put in the game? Democracy, do I think democracy is a key word for colonialism? Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that question. I will tell you categorically that democracy and colonialism is the same thing. It's just that it's just like the way the United States created the dollar hegemon after the Cold War. You know, democracy was created to put, now don't forget this, democracy started in Britain. Democracy did not start in America. Democracy started in Britain. Okay? So, did life crash? Or probably is you. Then, Britain colonized America. So, one of the legacy, the long-lasting legacy of democracy, of colonialism and imperialism is democracy. Is a system that enables these people to dictate what they want in any country. Okay? They create a lot of conditions around your government that will probably make them infiltrate your government any day, any time, even in your backyard. Whatever they're saying, we're talking about modern democracy. Okay? Because democracy was not a system that was practiced by a lot of people. Democracy was not a system that was practiced by a lot of people. Okay? I would say when they conquer people, they give them democracy. When they conquer people, they give them democracy. So, even religion, they give them religion. These are things that make people, that surrender people. Is my sound loud now? Can you hear me now? If you can hear me clearly now, let me know. So, these are things that make people follow the rules even long after they are gone. Okay? So, I don't think I can get it louder than this actually. So, now that the European Union have now come to the alliance of Sahel states and they are doing what they are doing and all of those things, what I can say now is that all I can say right now is that the alliance of Sahel state need to be very, very careful. Okay? How about now? I don't know. I think the alliance of Sahel state needs to be very, very careful with the European Union because those people have zero respect for anybody of color. They have no, I think every time they send delegation, every time the US send delegation, led by whoever, I think they are fighting for their next generation. I think they are fighting for their history. I think they are fighting for their survival. I think they are fighting for their existence. And we need to be very, very much aware of these things, and we need to prepare correspondingly. So I want to tell you something that just happened recently from Niger. There was a particular Nigerian commander that said the current mobilization, the military mobilization in Niger currently, is done categorically to prepare for war with France. How serious this statement is, I don't know. But the Nigerian chiefs are saying that their current preparation and mobilization all around the entire territory is done to prepare themselves for war against France. Now, the materials for this video, I have made a video for that. It will be dropping exactly 7 a.m. Nigerian time tomorrow morning. I'm surprised that they are saying these things, but you know, the way the people were sharing and all of that, I think these people are serious. When a lot of foreign delegations come and all of that, you know, when you look at the reaction of the Nigerians in certain situations, you will know that these people, whatever bilateral talk you think you want to discuss with them, they don't want to see it. I love the fact that the Nigerians understand the fact that you are different from them. They know you don't love them. According to one of their generals, he said Nigerians love Nigerians the most, that they should forget all this deceit. So all these people that continue to send delegation and all of that, they continue to claim what is not. Okay. They continue to claim what is not. I believe that the Nigerians are very, very prepared. According to this Nigerian army chief, he said that they have started preparing and mobilizing since the Diori Amani International Airport attack. Niger has been given a lot of resources by God for whatever reason, and I think they need to prepare themselves to defend their sovereignty, because the fact that God gave them much means that they need to heavily militarize themselves. I won't lie at this point. I just think that is the only thing. Now, my conclusion on this EU delegation and all of that, you see, when they talk about bilateral talks, the question I want to ask a lot of people is, what is it that the EU have to offer the alliance of Sahel states? Families, let's understand. If not that there is a lot of puppets, what is it that the EU can categorically boast of that they can offer to the Sahel? Are they going to transfer missile technologies? Are they going to offer advanced technologies? Are they going to transfer technologies to the Sahel? Offensive missile capabilities, defensive ballistic missile capabilities. Are they going to transfer the technology? They are not going to do this thing. So all this old talk of bilateral talk and every other thing, I don't get it. I don't know where it's coming from. I think we've all been able to find out now that these people don't have anything. We've been able to realize that they are nothing. Let's just be honest. The difference is the color of the skin. We are all human beings, no level. Oh, thank you so much, by design. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, the difference between these EU representatives and us, right, or anybody elsewhere, is that you are white, I am black. We are humans, but you don't have no level. Because those people behave as if they are something. And as soon as they told them to leave, everybody found out that, come on, you are nothing. Let's be classical. When you listen to these puppet African leaders in the African Union Summit, they were talking and they were saying a lot of things and all of those things. And at the end of the day, you just know that these people are lying to yourself. From Guyana, oh, thank you so much, family. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. France is working hard to recolonize Africa again. They are just working hard for, you know, from what I heard from the Nigerians today, what I heard categorically from the Nigerians today, that they are preparing for war with France. Families, I won't lie to you, France is coming back to Africa. Maybe they will come to some of their some of their colonies that they are still present right now. Maybe they will come and, double down on their authorities. But to talk about the Sahel is game over, families. Now let me tell you this. A lot of countries are coming to the alliance of Sahel states to beg for bilateral talk. Let's be clear. To beg for bilateral talks. Are you aware that the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and Emmanuel Wadrogo just signed a deal this morning? You can get the video on Sputnik Africa. They traveled to Russia to sign the deal. See, look, you don't, all this, we are coming here to sign bilateral talk is, and if you look at the entire Burkinabe delegation that traveled, the contingent of the Russians, they were all on suit. Our Burkinabe representative were on their native attire. And if you look at the way those guys were looking, I was like, oh, come on. I was like, come on, that's it. That is what we are talking about. They were looking like, I was like, I love this look. I love this look. They don't look, they don't look somehow surprised or like, they're just looking like we are who we are. On their native attires. Everybody. So, let me tell you this. A lot of people don't understand. If you look at the thumbnail of this video, this live stream, the European delegation were all on suits, which is their normal wear based on their weather. Our own delegation in Burkina Faso were on their native indigenous attire. They produce their suit over there, we produce our indigenous attire here. This is to tell them, we don't want to be you. That is the first definition of sovereignty. I don't know if a lot of people get that. A lot of foreign nations are able to covertly destabilize a lot of countries because they want to be Westerners. No matter the capability that Iran tries to bring to the table right now, the problem still remains Iranians love the West. I'm not saying it's bad to love anyone, but you have to understand that you have to be contented being yourself first. So that is why I will take it back to this statement, right? By, thank you so much for the donation. That is why I will take it back to this statement by the Burkinabe contingent led by Dr. Nakando that don't meddle in our education. Whatever France have done here is okay. Look, when you want to talk about bilateral talk, don't talk about our education. We were only lucky to get out of this circle of continuous trying to get validation from who? I sat down on my own and I realized that, come on, we don't control anything. You say you have PhD in so, you have masters in so, yet you can hardly manufacture one thing in that very same field. Like from the scratch, you use local raw materials to finish something that can be economically beneficial. Except maybe in medicine. So I realized that, come on, let's be honest. What are we doing? This whole, he traveled to UK to get masters and to do all these things. It's all scam. It's all scam. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, they are doing it. These are the only countries that are not begging. Look at Benin. Now they are calling Belgium. I think Belgium will have their hands full when they get to northern Benin. When they get to northern Benin, because the terrorists in northern Benin, they are already building up as we speak. They are already they are calling for reinforcement like crazy. You want to call Benin? What? It's giving a master class in how effectively wield power. Yes, exactly. I was shocked. Okay, when I saw the Nigerian authorities saying that they are prepared for war with France, I was shocked. But I'm telling you, so when they made these statements, the response from the French authorities, according to the information they said, the response from the French general staff is that they are not the one responsible for the Diori Amani air base attack. That's what they said. And to be honest with you, a lot of people think, oh, they're asking for. France is equally very careful because France knows this might be a trap for Russia to crease them. So let's move forward. So Algeria has now ordered their diplomat. This was an order. This was not a negotiation. Okay? Algeria has ordered their diplomat to move to Niger with immediate effect, according to the orders of President Abdulmajid Tebboune of Algeria. Based on the information we receive, Algeria orders immediate return of its ambassador to Niamey. The president of Algeria, of the Algerian Republic, instructed on Thursday, February 12, 2026, that's yesterday, the immediate return of our ambassador stationed in Niger. This diplomatic redeployment comes after a period of cooling relations between the two Sahelian neighbors. With this presidential instruction, Algeria chose to relaunch its official channel in the heart of the Sahel. The return of the ambassador to Niamey is just a simple administrative formality. It is not just a simple administrative formality. It is a strategic decision aimed at restoring direct and permanent dialogue with the Nigerian authorities. Let me tell you something, right? Algeria wants to build a transatlantic gas pipeline and they want to take the channel through Niger Republic. Algeria is trying to build a trans-Saharan railway network and they are going to take that railway through Niger Republic. I'm telling you, the recent spat between Niger and Benin has given Algeria a sort of loophole, okay, to create an economic opportunity, to find an economic, let me say, pathway for herself. Because okay, I understand. Because I would say that it was after the Benin crisis that Algeria started creating this opportunity, and here they are. I think Algeria is trying to build their relationship with Niger and the Sahel. They don't want to go through Mali because they know that Mali is a no-go area, possibly because of their relationship with Mali in the past and all of that. But I think they are gradually trying to come back and show some. Thank you for the donation. I think they're trying to come back and show some love and all of that. I don't trust the president of Algeria because of his relationship and because of his past stance and because Imam Mahmoud Dicko, the terrorist Hydra head of the JNIM, is still taking refuge in Algeria. How about you release Imam Dicko to Mali the way Togo released Damiba to Burkina Faso? Then we can actually build up an argument for you. Okay, that okay, if you can do this, possibly, probably, you want something concrete. Pack all the terrorist leaders, pack all of them, and give them to Mali. Once you give, I know it's going to be tough, but if he does, Mr. Abdulmajid, if you can do that, then we will know that you are serious about this relationship. If Togo is saying that they are on the side of the AES, I won't think too much. I will give them a benefit of doubt because releasing Damiba alone was more than, a guarantee for their credibility. So Algeria have to tactically, first of all, release Dicko and whichever terrorist you have in your country. Then gradually, you can now help us send people like, there's another one in Algeria, okay? After that, talk to Mali on what you can do as far as reparation is concerned. As far as reparation is concerned, for their Baraktar Akinci drone. 2 Baraktar Akinci drone is over $50 million. It's not cheap. So you cannot just talk about you want to create bilateral relationship. You want to dialogue. Now I don't know if their dialogue if it will encompass paying reparations and doing all those things, but let's see. But for now, I don't trust Algeria, but we will see. And yeah. So, and I think it is because of this current extension of law from Algeria that we are now seeing Imam Diko saying he wants to dialogue, he wants to sit with the Malian government, that he's tired of this, he's tired of that. But anyway, we'll continue to monitor the development and we'll continue to bring you information. Ladies and gentlemen, the situation in Madagascar today was shocking. It happened yesterday actually, where over 31 have been killed in Thomason after the cyclone that happened, and 75% of the second largest city has now been destroyed. 75%. So it's huge. 75% of the territory. And now, why this is somehow, I don't feel good about this. Families, I won't lie to you. When I saw this news, the way I felt was as if something bad happened to somebody very close to me. I'm telling you. And do you know why I felt like this about Algeria, about Madagascar? Madagascar is one of the few countries in Africa that dare to say no to neo-colonialism. Madagascar is one of the few countries in Africa that dare to stand up and say no to neo-colonialism. For that reason, I am going to say my sincere condolence to the people of Madagascar. I don't care what they look like. Look, anybody that says no to neo-colonialism and imperial hegemony now is a friend to me. Me, personally. Okay? I mean, now the problem is, France recently talked about regime change in Madagascar. This natural disaster is now happening in Madagascar. And I'm thinking, now, the president, Radrina, said they will need international help. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, I might be wrong, but let me say this. And in my head, the first thing after he asked for international help was that, okay, there is Russia. Russia can help them out. I'm talking about probably a relief loan or something, or China can help, okay? And I felt like, what of African Union? Shebi they call for a summit today. What of the African Union? Can the African Union, Shebi, there is, what did they call this bank? African Development Bank. Even if the money in that bank is not Africa, is not even, let me say 40, is not 30% African. 30% of the money is not African. By US, EU, sponsors from Asia. So what I will say now is, I think Madagascar should be helped by the people that want Madagascar. I think Madagascar has a very few allies in Africa currently. This is like when nature plays you into the hands of your enemy. That's what the situation looks like. So for me now, the people that love the stance of Madagascar in Africa, this is time for them to show solidarity so that Madagascar don't fall. It doesn't mean that if anything happens, it doesn't mean that yes, EU has suspended Madagascar. I know. So what I think should happen now is that I'm very sure that Russia will come to their aid. I'm very, very sure that China will come to their aid because they recently applied to join the BRICS, and this is happening. So now is the right opportunity for the BRICS to show some levels. Now, another partner that I know that can stand up right now to kind of take advantage of this situation is either France or the United States. And that is like asking for help from, you know what? So when these people give you a cab, they are going to take the entire head with it. Let's be honest with that. So for me, I will be looking towards the BRIC partner, and I will be seeing how quick they will be able to help Madagascar, in this situation. If Russia can transfer over $2.6 billion in cash to Iran to stop the dollar shortage, definitely I think Madagascar situation, will not be that hard. So now I was strategically looking at the way the United States was emasculating my country today. Like, the United States went rogue on Nigeria today. Don't take the super to like, it was as if today is a day where the United States opened their Nigerian book and they were just firing shots at Nigeria. And I felt like, okay, there is a reason for all of this, and that reason is terrorism. So I broke some things down for some people that don't understand how terrorism it's a long-term plan. Terrorism did not happen today. It's a plan that have been around since the 1950s probably. They didn't execute until the late 1960s, and in 1970s they started gradually mobilizing by lobbying, and they had a strategy to gradually develop before they become something huge that some countries cannot control now. And all these things went through the roof through the Kissinger era. This has nothing to do with the Kissinger report, but around the Kissinger era, Eric Kissinger and a lot of people actually worked out this plan. So this plan has been for a very, very long time. I don't know, but after the second Cold War, where the United States came out the strongest, a lot of people, they lost their freedom, with United States coming out on top in that Cold War. Now, terrorism is the modern day neocolonialism. It's a way of creating dependence on Western limited capabilities. That is how I define terrorism. Through crisis, without being directly involved, they create crisis, but they are behind the scene. They are not directly involved. Why coming around to act like a conflict resolution chief? They are the ones that created it. They wait, they supply capabilities, they wait, and they come back around and tell you we want to have security partnership with you. We can help you solve this problem. We know the leaders of the terrorists. We know their movement. Thank you so much, Flavor Blade, for the $100 donation. I have to really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I know you don't want me to say it, but I'll say it. So, that's what they do. They turn around and they act as if they want to help you to solve your problem. Oh, we are here to solve your problem. We are here to resolve it. We want to. Yes, that's not. She sent me an $100 donation earlier today. I woke up and I saw it, and I really, really appreciated it. Flavor Blade is one of. So. Why coming around to act like a conflict resolution chief? That's what they do, and that's why you see that America continues to come to the Sahel states to kind of do all these things, and So according to information, what I have gathered so far, it's a way of generating constant funding for Western military industrial complex. Okay? Because they need their military industrial complex to constantly get money. No matter how small the money is, it's important. Every money is key. So that is why they told the Burkinabes at the time they met with Ibrahim Traore that we don't want this war to end. We want to sustain the war. Why do they want to sustain the war? So that they can change the regime. They can infiltrate policies. They can do anything they want to do at any time. It will be there. This is the right answer. I said, yes, exactly. So that's what they do. And they don't see, look, when you see that these jihadists take people off, they believe that take them. They don't care. You see them in suit looking good, but they are not really good like that. Oh, how you can contribute without going through YouTube? Oh, I don't really have any other place, but except through a direct funding to my account, and that would be if I get the message on my contact line that is in my bio. So yeah. So another thing, key way of using terrorism to control governments is a way of controlling government to make sovereign concessions and also a catalyst for regime change operation. When the cash app does not work in Nigeria, so when they want to change a regime, they tell the jihadists to go on serious kinetic annihilation of the population. And the next thing, the citizens that are not really aware of what is going on behind the scene geopolitically will be like, our government is helpless. We need the US to come and help us. Donald Trump, please save our soul. These are the things that Nigerians are saying. Right? Donald Trump, please. See, whenever Donald Trump, before they deploy these 200 US troops, whenever Donald Trump says something through his Truth Social, you have Nigerians in the comment section say, Baba, when you they come. The Nigerians became the biggest fan of Donald Trump, but they don't understand the play. See, this is called covert operation. This is how a lot of countries play into the hands. Yeah, I understand that you are in the United States. I understand. I'm going to check PayPal if it's now working in Nigeria. I'm going to check after this live, and yeah, but anybody can message me on my contacts in the bio if they want to support. I really appreciate it. So it's a catalyst for regime change. Actually, it is what, look, they use terrorism to remove Goodluck Jonathan in Nigeria. Remember, they kidnapped the Chibok girls, and the next thing, Hillary Clinton and some group that were sponsored, you just saw them straight in the United States with a placard, bring back our girls. They use social media influencers like Kanye West. They use PDD. Ah, man. See, the CIA, if you know the way they work, and thank God, I'm the kind of person that it is not like I read these things from a certain book somewhere. No, I just sat down and I studied the pattern, and I was able to bring out all this. I was able to extrapolate all these facts. So families, don't let me say this. McKay will be coming to speak tomorrow. This is one of the best geopolitical analysts I have seen. You know, anybody that speaks for the spearhead, these guys are genius. He's going to be coming on Saturday, sorry. I already booked him for Saturday, so I'm going to try to talk to David Udein if he can be here on a Sunday, but I don't know if his schedule is tight, but I'll try to bring him on a Sunday. True Mamle, I think on Monday, True Mamle will be here. So I will post the time on my Telegram, and I will post it in the Facebook post, in the YouTube post, so that a lot of people can see it. So I would give him my schedule tomorrow, and you know, we'll actually speak. Today is Friday. Okay, I'll probably give him my schedule today, so I will let you all know when McKay will be here. These guys are too intelligent, and I'm trying to bring some brains and some big minds into the Pan-African community. You know, these are very, very intelligent people and tactical people. These people think like I don't know. I don't want to use some language. Like the way they think is so smart, and I'm going to start bringing them. This is what we are going to start doing right now. So it's a way of controlling government. Actually, you can see United States sold A-29 Super Tucano jets to Nigeria, and they told Nigeria, you cannot deploy these jets in the northeast. You can't deploy it in the northwest. You can't deploy it in the entire southern region. So where should they now deploy it? According to the information we were given, the first place the US wanted to put their 200 troops in Nigeria was Lagos or Abuja, but it was rejected completely. That was why they chose the northeast. So when you suddenly see Riley Moore, if you look at this whole thing now, even though they are saying that Muslims are being attacked in the Woro attack, they continue to say that it's Christian genocide. And a lot of people would not still understand that this is a pretext for something big. Yeah, I'm older again. You just right. Check the sound on your device. Okay, so a way of projecting influence and power by bringing in military bases. Now they did not, this time around they don't want to bring in military base to Nigeria. What did they say? They said they don't want a military base. They don't want to stay permanently in Nigeria, but they just want a drone refueling station. Now probably, you know what they will do? They will probably tell the jihadists to intensify the attack. Now, as at yesterday, the DSS sent notification to, I think, Kwara State, or they sent notification to a particular state, and they told the security apparatus in that state to prepare that a massive attack is coming. Don't worry. It will go from we want to have a refueling base, because when they create a certain level of chaos, the citizens will be the one to say, that they need help. That's how it's going to be. So it's a way of creating division and distrust within the state. This is a practical way of creating division and distrust within the state. They did something today. They told Rabiu Kwankwaso, who happens to be one of the most prolific politicians in Nigeria, they said they will now be sanctioning him. That is a terrorist funder. Do you know what that means? Either we believe or we don't believe. There is already a tag on his head. I posted it in the video I made this afternoon. So either you trust Kwakwaso or you don't trust him. Either he's involved or he's not involved. Okay? People will start looking at Kwankwaso like, man, the United, and you know Nigeria now. Nigeria is like Nigeria are the deputy Americans. So the next thing is, you can hear the man in the video saying, if America can tell you that, if America can tag you as a terrorist funder, it means that they might know better than Nigeria. See, a typical Nigeria kind of have this thing in their head that Americans know it all. So if Americans say that this guy, now let me tell you why they are tagging. I will tell you the play behind this tag they are putting on Rabiu Kwakwaso. They are calling Rabiu Kwakwaso a terrorist sponsor because he is one of the key people that still has some level of integrity. Maybe he's the type of person that they say, okay, this is the deal. We want you to sign this contract. We want you to get involved in this. And he probably says no. Or you say no, we are going to blackmail you. The Epstein file has showed us that these people can do and undo. So if you, welcome brother Omar Keita, welcome brother. So the Epstein file has shown us that what these people cannot do, God has not made that thing that they cannot do. What they cannot do does not exist. So the fifth thing I discovered is that they will improve the terrorist capability. to such an extent that leaves the military exhausted. Therefore, America will activate the R2P. Hence, governments make concessions, policy level and strategic level. What do I mean? They will tell the sleepers, depending on how good your military is, they will influence the jihadists heavily with so much capability to the point that the people will believe that, man, this situation is now out of control. America has one right. When a situation is related to terrorism, America has that first right to go in with or without permission. Okay? With or without permission to go and engage the terrorists. The reason why they cannot do that in Mali is because the Malians, the Burkinabes and the Nigerians, they faced the terrorists head on. So now, they now started using social media propaganda because this is the fastest way to bring America in, that you've lost control. Okay? So those ones too, they intensified the fight against the terrorists. You can see that so many times they told the Burkinabes and the Malians that you are doing a very great job. The person telling you are doing a very great job is the one that gave you the assignment. Are you communicating? The person that is congratulating you, that congratulations, he knows about what you are celebrating. That is why the person is telling you congratulations. Thank you for joining the community. The person that is telling you congratulations knows that, man, how did you survive this? So what they were trying to do when they saw that the Malians were, the Burkinabes, the Nigerians were firing back, they discovered that it will not be easy for America to go in with that rhetoric of right to protect. They now told the media like Al Jazeera, France 24, RFI, June Afrique to continue to lie. You will now discover that those people started lying. Oh, the Al Jazeera came to Mali and there is no fuel. The Bamako, they started giving so many speculation that, okay, within 2 months, Bamako could fall, this one could happen. That was all propaganda. And thank God, the more they tell these lies, the more new soldiers continue to stand up, both on the social media, on every front. Different people got interested because people started realizing that, why are you lying so much? Why are you doing this? So now they blocked America from using that R2P. Now, why the media, the propaganda media were lying? Guess the next assets that they activated. They activated ECOWAS and the African Union. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't understand this thing, you don't understand it too. They now activated Project African Union. Let me call it project. When they activated Project African Union, the assets in Project African Union started calling for international help. A country that is not your country, you are calling for international help. The people in that country is telling you that we got the situation under control. The citizens are saying it, not even only the government. You are saying that we are calling on the international community. What? That is, look, you can see that it's levels by levels. What would have made it very terrible is if the Sahelian alliance were in military and strategic, agreements with them. They will make sure that they render your military useless. Then they will now come in, they will put in their bases. They will tell the terrorists, don't come near our base. You know where to go. Huh? Look, these people, if you know, you know. But the Malians continue to crush the terrorists. And guess what they did, right? They now came recently, they said, according to Washington's Global Firepower Organization, they said the Malians are now the strongest military in the Franc-Afrique bloc right now, based on the rankings. Do you know where they got that ranking from? They got that ranking from what they are saying, based on the level of destruction that is being done to those that they are recruiting. Probably maybe they recruit somebody today and next tomorrow, where is he? He's gone. The rating, see, if you think they don't know what is going on, you are deceiving us. They know what is going on. If you don't see, please get this thing very clearly. If you look at the Diori Amani air base attack, they got so tired to the point that they had to send a French operative to back the terrorists into the attack. And what happened? He kissed the dust. I'm so sorry to say that, but that was what happened. The first time they knocked him down. And he has been in Africa training terrorists for many, many years. It's not even today. They brought terrorists that were involved in 9/11. They brought terrorists from Afghanistan. They brought terrorists from Yemen. They brought terrorists from, what's the name of this place? Lebanon. To Mali. That one is surprising. I started seeing different names. There is this guy they call Al-Anabi. Al-Anabi was the mastermind behind the Tango attack. They all got defeated in Mali. There was one that performed 9/11 attack. That day, in fact, the whole fight happened, his final moment, I think they knocked him down in one uncompleted story building like that. It was 1v1 with area bombardment. So now, what's in Libya too? Libya is part of the game. So they are inviting great fighters. Now, don't forget, that's why Natalie Yamb warned the president of Chad that they are using you today. They will plan to take you out tomorrow. Don't forget, all these notorious jihadist leaders that they are sending to the Sahel, apart from the fact that they are being funded, don't forget that they've used them before. Because they could no longer use them for whatever reason, they will now tell them that, look, it's time to get you out of the way. If you don't want us to get you out of the way, come and, put your hands to work here. That is what they do. Even with African leaders too, that's what they do to them. They teach them to steal. Then once they are stealing, they tell them that, look, you are now an asset. You will follow orders. Do you think some of these presidents are doing the things they are doing just like that? They are taking orders. And they are not just taking orders. They don't have any leverage. They don't have any right. They cannot say anything. They got their secrets like this. So, it failed. That's why you see that they came back to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and they say they want to come and readdress their policy missteps. A lot of people don't understand that language. They say policy missteps. The reason why they are saying it is that they have activated a lot of keys. Now, there's a thing called opposition. That is another key aspect. There is a thing called trade union. There are levels to the infiltration. There is a thing called human rights group. There is NGO. There are levels, there are stratas to this thing. Now, let's go to the layers of the embassy, because they have a multi-layer system of deep state assets. Number one is the NGO. They come into your country as NGOs. They want to, for you, whatever humanitarian this thing, they will project their influence and all of that. After the NGO, they used to employ middlemen. Let me explain this thing to you. Do you remember a particular NGO in Burkina Faso? Is it Burkina Faso or Niger? INSO. The INSO NGO. That I think the Nigerians told them, or I think the Burkinabe or the Nigerians told them to stop their activities and leave. Even Red Cross. So what they do is that they pay this organization. So these organizations become direct proxies. Thank you, Burkina Faso. These organizations become direct proxies. That is why you see that Burkina Faso said, anything you want to do financially within Burkina Faso now, you will now be accountable. You will come and tell us what you want to do. You will show us your financial record. Because what they do is, these ones will now employ middlemen. The INSO employed a chief. They employed big and influential people in the community. What were their jobs? To go and monitor military checkpoints. To go and monitor barracks. Imagine a king in your community. A king coming to a military barrack. The soldiers will look at him like, sir, what are you doing? Welcome, this and that. He came to spy. Now, you would think this thing is coming for sheep, that why will a king do this? There was a particular person, they were paying $6,800 per month in Africa. That is a juggernaut amount of money. The least they were paying some people $3,500. So these are funds that will make, see, the act of espionage is deep. Is an act to completely buy the asset, not only to own the asset, but to make the asset turn against his people. Espionage is not something that just makes you work for them. It makes you hate whatever entity you are from. You hate them. Your people will now be like, why are these people behaving as if they hate us? Because the espionage, button has been activated. That person is a forever asset. It will take neutralization or arrest or capture by the institutional authority of that state to deactivate the assets. And sometimes when they deactivate this, and do you know what? You can be employed and you don't know that you're already an asset. A lot of people don't understand this thing. You might become an asset without knowing that you are already an asset. You go for protests. They give you there's a way they infiltrate you, and you'll be doing everything with ignorance, and you are already an asset. There's some type of job they give you, and they give you certain amount of money, and you are doing that job, and because of the money, there is a point you get to, you have to take certain decisions, and they will tell you, if you take this decision, your job might be on the line. Somebody might just tell you, like as if they are giving you a warning. See, don't play with your job. This thing you want to do might be dangerous. So they will just tell you you're a play, but you don't understand that the person giving you that warning is an asset. An asset that is meant to monitor some group of assets. Just give you as a one, the person will look off immediately. You change your mind. No, I'm not going to go forward with this thing. You are an asset, but you don't know. But because you think you are in a job, you think your job is well paying, you are already being controlled. And you don't know, against your state. This thing, to understand it, you have to be in a space where you have a high level of consciousness and morality to escape. You need to escape. Money is the biggest trap. Thank you very much. Money is the biggest trap. And never ever expose yourself by telling them your secret, because, man, you play into their hands, they're going to double down on it. So what they do, they employ middlemen. These are the middlemen that I have analyzed. There are some, now those are the less privileged. The middlemen are the one that gets the money. They don't care about the foot soldiers. It's the middlemen now that will go and activate the foot soldiers. That's where the Amajiris come in. So the middlemen are the one that I enjoy most times from the NGO. So the deal is between the NGO and the middlemen, and that is where USAID came in. Now, it's not like USAID personnel just call terrorists and they keep giving them cash. No, there are middlemen. So these middlemen assets are the one that will now activate the local assets. Now, because of the greed of Africans in key position, you will see the impact of that greed on the body of those terrorists once they have been neutralized. Look at their legs. As if they've never entered the bathroom since they were born. Tiny, some are injured Do you understand? Because the middlemen look at them like, come on, man, you are just another one. You can go. And do you know what these people work on? They work on data. They work on data. They know the number of assets they are recruiting. Have you forgotten that there was a time Al Jazeera gave the rough estimate of the number of terrorists in the Sahel? They said something around 5,000 or something. Was it 4,000 or 5,000? That is where the data analysis come in. Anybody you recruit, you must capture in your data. You must transfer the data to the key positions that will take it to the very top. The NGO will send it to the recruiters. This is the number of fighters we have on ground. Thank you, 5,000. People keep up a lot with information, and I really appreciate it. Because that is where data come in. They get data. They do this thing. See, when you hear that they are preaching Sharia, a lot of people say, you have to understand this thing. It is not because they are so Islamic that they are preaching Sharia. There is a mandate to the foot soldiers. Via the NGO, through the middlemen, you must recruit more fighters. Now they go to communities preaching Sharia. Because they need fighters. They don't preach. So if you don't accept that Sharia, which means you have to go kinetic and eliminate a lot, you have to start doing what they are doing, which is terrorism. They eliminate everybody there. This thing is deep, it's long. Now, to support, now they now have support groups. They have two types of support group for the terrorists, which is the ground assets. They have human rights group, and they have pro-terrorist activists or terrorist sympathizers. These are the two groups that will protect the local assets, the interest of the local assets. That's why you have the Human Rights Watch blackmailing Burkina Faso and blackmailing Mali. If you listen extensively to that video, they said the reason why they are making this report is because most of the jihadists are recruited from this particular ethnic group. How do you know the ethnic group that the jihadists are being recruited for if you are not the one recruiting them? So they recruit this group. Human Rights Watch is an NGO, but it's not an NGO because it's being funded. Go and check their data very well. And the terrorist sympathizers, this is the class of somebody like Imam Diko. This is the class of somebody like Shehu Gumi. Even the father of Shehu Gumi in Nigeria, Abubakar Gumi, has been in this job since 1967, and CIA acknowledged him. The document is out there. David Udeyin knows this thing. So these are the levels, and there are so many other levels that a lot of people don't know. So if you think this is just an ordinary thing that you just defeat through kinetic method, then they fund tribal war. You will just see some people will just come online, and the next thing they will say this they create the trouble and they step back. These people only thrive in the midst of division. So there are people that help them to create tribal war. Now the last strata of this, they pay influencers. They have influencers that are assets. What they do is to influence the locals using Western culture. Your movie industry is part of this playbook, but a lot of people don't know. Now, because the people want to be Western so much, once they want to call for help, they call the West immediately. Not because the West has the credibility or they've done it somewhere where they saw that, oh, no, the West have the capability of doing this, but because they feel that they are pro-Western, they are the children or the same ancestors of the West that just found themselves in Africa. That's where your influencers come in. Remember the day before the JNIM entered Nigeria, before the JNIM entered Nigeria. They entered Kwara State. Do you remember a certain Nigerian artist that was in Elisi, that was in Paris with his wife? Do you remember? And it was not the only Nigerian influencer. There were multiple Nigerian influencers. They picked the biggest ones. So when you see the behavior of some of your influencers, you have to be very careful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. They've invited the politicians, then they are going to the influencer level. So this is a network. This is something I have been studying for a long time. And that is why I'm able to bring out these things. Now, in the political way, they employ opposition. When the video that I'm going to drop 7 a.m., I've already scheduled it, right? You will see what they were saying about Bobby Wine. Bobby Wine is a Western agent. Museveni is not good. Bobby Wine is an agent. Let's leave that. You will see everything. Look, they fund opposition. They have people, assets on ground that do intelligence collection. There was a man that was arrested recently. What this man does is he collects information. All he does is to collect intel locally. You will hear that some people have been captured. They are Boko Haram informants. They are informants for this. See, sometimes when you look at this life, it is only you and what is going on in your mind that you know. The next person to you might be the most dangerous asset that you've ever come across. Now, they fund protests. Every placard you see has a meaning. Okay? So, and they fund labor union. They do all these things to make the government useless and helpless. So I came up with a question. I said, so the question is, how do you escape all this stratum of emasculation, of the deep state plots in a democracy? Families, did you hear what I said now? After all this division of labor and specialization I just gave you, the question is, how do you escape all these layers in a democracy? Hence, the big statement of why they continue to tell the Sahel that they want them to come back to constitutional order, because that is the gateway to this entire process. The only way you get out of this is what they call dictatorship. They call it dictatorship because it doesn't certify their interests. I will stand my ground any day and at any time. Kabobi is an asset. Kabobi of Uganda. He is one of the most Western individuals that you can ever come across. It will so much open the floodgate of Western everything to Uganda that, you know, sometimes you are coming from somewhere and when you get to the new place, you ask yourself, both Museveni and Bobby, yes, exactly. But the reason why they are going for the head of Museveni right now is because Museveni is collaborating with the Russians. And it's now, the sun is threatening them now. Bobby Wine is their puppet. Uganda will be nothing under Bobby Wine. Bobby Wine is a puppet in every way and form you can ask for. Somebody better with some level of credibility should come out in Uganda. Then we can talk. If they need someone, let them go and pick the son of Idi Amin. I'm going to try and contact him and see if I can bring him to this platform. That guy is one of the most intelligent human beings I've seen. the son of Idi Amin Dada, I'm going to try to bring him to this platform. So families, it's at this point that I want to say thank you to everybody on this platform. I made up my mind that after this session, I am going to tell everyone something. You are the reason why I'm able to come back every day to do everything I do. You all are the ones that sponsor every video I make. How? In Nigeria, right? Electricity. I think some people must have witnessed electricity going and coming and during live sessions, right? This is the reality in Nigeria. And the only reason why we can do this is, the help that you all give is so big. And the revenue from YouTube come with geography and all those things. If you are in certain geography, they pay you less. If you're in certain geography, they pay you more and all of that. So, and I used to do so much military news updates before. Everybody that knows the Andre community, you see through the blackout. Thank you. A lot of people know that we do military updates before, but they completely knocked out the channel algorithm at that time. So we started mixing it up a little bit. So in one word, I want to appreciate everybody in this community, because I represent this community any day, anywhere, anytime. I'm very, very proud of this community. Like I can beat my chest for the people in this community any day, anytime, and anywhere. You all are my biggest sponsors, and I want to appreciate you all. You all have done too well for me, and I want to say thank you for everything. You see, I bought clothes and I put the name of people in this community, right? It is because I engage so much. I've been able to build so much connection with the people in this community. Like, you all are like families. I know names. I know names of people, and I really, really care about the opinion of people in this community. So I want to say thank you so much, and I really, really appreciate it. So I bid you all farewell, good night, and don't forget the EU video on Kabobi, 7 a.m. Nigerian time tomorrow. You are going to see it, so don't forget. You can just hang around and just check around 7 a.m. tomorrow Nigerian time, so that if they don't notify you, you yourself can go out there and you see it. Thank you, and God bless you, families. Thank you so much, and thank you, Flavor Blade by Design. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm like your cousin. I'm like you all's family. So I really, really appreciate what everyone does for me. Your words of encouragement is so strong. Even sometimes I'm weak. I'm so weak mentally that my words are not coherent. When I'm so tired and weak, I might be, my words don't align and all of that, but I know families got me. Let me just go out there. I will still say what I have to say. They know it's not my fault. They know I'm good. So I got you all, man. Thank you so much, and God bless you.